Why, hello, my beautiful Dolly friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Dollmar Show. I am your host, Memar, and here at the Dollmar Show, I like to talk about all things doll related from the past, the present, and definitely the future, darling. Now, we have quite the discussion to discuss today, darling, so we'll make our way into the doll of the moment. And that was Tantrum, Aaron Salston. Okay, so this Aaron Salston is from the Seven Sins event that happened in 2023 at Integrity Toys. So instead of having like a convention, they had an online event, so all of the collectors had an opportunity to participate and to get the dolls. And this particular Aaron was a lottery doll, and I was lucky enough to actually win the lottery for her. Now, upon first impressions of this doll, I really, really liked a lot of elements about her. Like, I loved her fashions. I love how edgy she looks. The only thing that really just kind of deterred me away from this doll was just the fantasy hair. If you know me, you know that I am not the biggest fan of fantasy hair. I only like fantasy hair if it is done correctly. If it is absolutely gorgeous, then that's when I will get it. I only have maybe like three, maybe four dolls in my collection with fantasy hair. I'm just not really the biggest fan of it. But, like I said, I like it if it's done right. And in this case, I would say this is passable for me. Is it done right? Yes. Is it done right enough for me to want to have her in my collection? Yeah, I would say so. Um, Over the years of having this doll, I've became more and more infatuated with her. She is definitely one of those dolls that is well sought after now. So I do appreciate that I was able to get her when I was able to get her. I do think that Erin is absolutely beautiful. She is a really, really popular character over at Integrity Toys, and she is from the New Phase line. So, she has the New Phase body with, the smaller bust and everything. She displays more of like a more youthful type of ambience and presence about her, which is what I really, really like. This doll, I've never really seen the shoes that this doll had, and that's one of the things that really, really draw me to her was just like the shoes, the dress overall, her cape jacket thing that she has. Like I really, really love that about her. So getting her was a no-brainer for me, or entering the lottery for her was a no-brainer for me. Um, I figured I could look past the fantasy hair, and that I did do. Um, I do like how the fantasy hair isn't like rooted all over. So if you've noticed in the pictures, she does have some flocking on the side, so it's not like a full complete head of hair. She, kind of has like a little buzz type of cut on in certain areas, and like the parameter of the back of the head. So that to me is really, really cool, and it really stood out to me. So I was like, 100% yes, I will enter the lottery for her. Um, I am kind of growing a little used to seeing the fantasy hair. Am I liking it? Sometimes, not all the time, but I am coming around to the idea of fantasy hair. So let me know what you think about Miss Erin Sauce in the comments. And will we be seeing her again this year? Maybe. I hope we do. I actually absolutely love Erin Sauce. Now, the only thing that I would like to see from Erin, I would like to see Erin come in more of a variety of skin tones. Lately, she's just been with her most recent releases. She's just been in like kind of like the same like area of skin tone, which is more on the pale side. And I would like to see Erin in more iterations and in more skin tones, essentially, and just seeing how her sculpt can be further pushed and further defined. And yeah, so that's Miss Erin Saucin right here. And with that being said, let's get on into the skinny. Today may or may not be the day that we find out who won the lotteries for the newest The London Look Poppy Parker collection. Um, I did enter for some of the dolls in the lottery. Um, I think I entered for all of them. I think so. I definitely entered for Darla. I entered for Mad Mad Mod, and I also entered for the gift set, and that's mainly because I really, really love that ginger. Um, the poppy's okay. The sleepy eyes on the poppy is, I don't know. She definitely looks a look. Let's just say that. And the reason why I'm talking about this again is because I saw some discussions online on the social media platforms, whatever you want to call it, about how the dealers over at Integrity Toys or that work with Integrity Toys, how they were only given one doll, and that was the Queen's English doll, the one that I really didn't care for. That was the only lottery doll from this entire collection. I did see some discussions online about, some people on the fence about, how that was like fair to the dealers or not fair to the dealers, or, just all of that whole discussion. And I wanted to input my 2 cents on the whole entire dealer process and dealer dolls that Integrity Toys does. So I'm not the biggest fan of dealer dolls. So when Integrity Toys, they come out with a collection, and the dealers are typically, sometimes, not all the time, given maybe like two, maybe three dolls. But in this case, for the Poppy Parker collection, the London Look, they were only given one, which is what sparked the conversation. Um, I'm not particularly a fan of the dealer dolls. Um, and if you were to ask me, which would I prefer, um, either a right to buy lottery or a dealer doll, I would say the right to buy lottery every single time. And here's my reason why. I do not like the dealer process because the dealer process, it just feels like, it feels almost like you're begging to buy a doll from someone who is from a dealer who just sparked their 15 minutes of fame. It's just like, I just don't like that process of it. I don't like the favoritism that some dealers have. um, I had one negative experience with one dealer, and that was when the New Face holographic, what is it called, like the New Face collection that came out, Neo something, where they went to like Tokyo. I'll put it up, but um, that's when I think Yuri and holographic Novi was they were dealer dolls, and I specifically remember reaching out to a dealer for both of the dolls that they had. And I remember like a day or two went by and I was like, why haven't they reached out to me yet? Like, that's weird because I've bought from this particular dealer before and they've never had a problem with responding to my emails and all of that. Never had a problem at all. But for some reason this time, my email went to their junk folder. What? My email went to your junk folder. Are you for real? So I then like looked at that email and I was like, I really want to say something really ugly right now because I've bought from that dealer so many dolls from that dealer in the past and have never had an issue with my email going to their junk folder. Um, they ended up replying like, "Oh, your email went to our junk folder, but we do have holographic Novi available, but we don't have the Yuri, the doll in all white. We don't have her anymore. She's been, I guess, sold out." I was like, "Okay, I'll take Novi, but had you have responded to my email the first time, I possibly could have gotten the other doll," which tells me that either they weren't paying attention or they were just being swarmed with emails and just picking and choosing, or somebody overlooked something. I don't know what happened on their end, but it just came across on my end as very shady. It's very like um just kind of ugh. Now, I do think that Integrity Toys should refine the dealer process. If you're going to keep it around, refine it a little bit more. Um, I do know that they did mention that they don't really tell the dealers where to price the dolls, which I think is, I don't know, that's kind of like a controversial type of conversation because you look at some dealer sites and they have the dolls available at cost. And then you look at another dealer site and they have the doll listed for like 2 to 3 times the price. And it's like, okay, why are we so wishy-washy, matched all over the place? That part of it I just don't like. So that is why I would choose a right to buy lottery over the dealer process every single time. So in this situation where they were only given one doll for the London Look collection, I was happy about that. Like I really was because they ended up getting a doll that I really didn't want. So I really didn't have to deal with any dealers at all. So that really made me happy. I do know that some people they are in favor of the dealers and some people aren't in favor of the dealers, but I am one of those collectors that I really don't like the process, and I think it either needs to be refined or eliminated. And that's just my opinion. That's my thoughts on it. But let me know what you think about that whole entire right to buy versus dealer doll process over at Integrity Toys. So, would you like to play a little game with me? Let's get into a new segment called Keep or Take a Leap. For this segment, I simply would like to know which doll do you like and which doll do you not like? And so, in other words, keep or take a leap. Now, the category is Barbie, styled by design. And here are the 4 dolls in question. So, the doll number 1, she has the pink and black on. She came out. All of these dolls just are more recent, so they're not like vintage or anything like that. So they're more recent dolls. And so far, there are only 4 dolls in the Style by Design collection. So doll number 1 has on this really, really cute dress with black gloves, and she has her pink, orange, and black on. Doll 2 is a Filipino design inspired doll. Um, Doll 3 is 60s inspired, and Doll 4 is so she's pretty much a designer collab. I'm That's what I'm taking from the description of her. Um, so let me know what you think about these girls in the comments, and I will first start off. I will first start off with what I think about these girls. Which ones would I keep, or which ones would I say take a leap? So doll number one, I would keep her. I would definitely keep her. I think she's really pretty. The face sculpt, everybody seems to go gaga over the Claudette, or I think that's his face sculpt. But everybody seems to go crazy over that face sculpt. But I do distinctly remember people actually loving the face sculpt in a more deeper skin tone. Doll number two, I would keep because I like the representation that this doll represents. I like how this doll is on a curvy body. I do like how this doll does have a more traditional Filipino inspired fashion look to her. I really, really love that. Um, and doll number three, I would keep doll number three as well. I think doll number three is literally the best one. Doll number three is the best doll out of this whole entire collection slash series. Um, I love how pink she looks. I like how the blue is just like melted in there with the pink. I really, really love this doll. I think this doll has really, really good aspects and everything to her. I think she's really pretty. Doll number four, I would tell to take a leap. So in other words, she would stay on the shelf. Um, just this doll just looks cheap to me. The fabrics look cheap. Now the pictures and everything, they try to make it look expensive and make the fabric quality look really high. But from what all the reviews and everything that I saw online about this doll, the fabric just reads as cheap. I like the overall like color combination that was used with this doll. So like the black and like the cream and everything, but all the plastic accessories and just everything that those plastic accessories just really cheapens this doll because I already know like the fabrics really aren't there. Yeah. I do like the embroidery on this doll, but I would definitely, yeah, she'd have to take a leap because I would not buy her at all. And as a matter of fact, this doll is still actually available for sale online at the Creations Mattel website. She does retail for $110, so just have your pocketbooks prepared. Now, let me know which dolls from this Style by Design series collection, let me know which ones you would keep and which ones you would say take a leap. Now, let's get ready for our chit chat. For our chit chat today, I would like to discuss the topic of doll fatigue. Otherwise known as burnout. So, when I think about doll fatigue, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it is rearing its ugly little head up again in the collecting community. Like it's always there in the collecting community, but it's happening more and more. I'm seeing more and more cases of it, more and more people selling off their collections, more people just are just completely tired of collecting, don't want to deal with it anymore. All of that and the above. Um, there has been a lot of releases that have came out over this past over the past few weeks, actually. If you caught my last episode, there were a ton of dolls that were released. Some of the dolls I didn't even include on the episode because, for one, some of them did not interest me. And two, it was just like so many, it was just so many dolls. I had to pick and choose which ones that I really, really liked the most. Um, and that's what I think that's one of the things where it's like really contributing to doll fatigue. You have so many brands releasing so many dolls at one time or in all the same time frame. And if you're like me, you collect multiple brands. But for me, I only collect two brands. I collect Barbie and I also collect Integrity Toys. But my primary is Integrity Toys and my secondary is Barbie. And the only thing that I collect from Barbie is just the really, really high quality silkstone material, that whole thing. Or if something comes out that actually speaks to me, I'll actually get it. But I try not to make that my primary, and just I try not to let that overwhelm my collection. I primarily focus on Integrity Toys. So that's how I'm able to control my doll fatigue. And even yet and still, the brands, even with those two brands, they still like come out with release after release after release after release. And I just completely, I stop myself and I'm like, hey, which ones do I really love? Which ones do I just can be okay without having? And that's how I'm able to just really keep control of the doll fatigue, because it can sneak up on you. It can really, really sneak up on you. And it can actually burn you out. Even though you may not be actively getting these dolls, just seeing the releases come out, it's just like, it can be a trigger for you to actually be burned out. So I know that's a little, if you haven't gone through it, you actually, you really won't understand it, because there are a lot of mixed emotions that come into play when it comes to, all the releases coming out. It's like, which ones do I want? Which ones do I don't want? What speaks to me? What doesn't speak to me? And then you have these short time frames to actually decide. And it's like, you know what? I don't know. I did take them all. So you end up getting most of them, but you end up don't liking nothing but, like, let's just say you only like one doll from like each company, and it's like, well, oh crap, well now I have five dolls. I like, dang it, I should have only got the ones that I really, really love. And it's kind of like you're almost pushed into a corner with having to decide, especially if you are a collector of Defalusi. Now that Defalusi, they sell out within like seconds to minutes. um, they really sell out really fast. So you really need to study those promo picks that come out, and you really need to decide, what doll do you want from Defa? Do you want both of the dolls if they come out with two, or do you just want the one doll that they come out with if they come out with one? So it's a lot being thrown on you as a collector at one time. So you have to be strong enough, and you have to actually know what you're looking for, how you want your collection to grow, and what direction do you want to take your collection in with each acquisition, each doll that you choose to buy. So that's pretty much my take on doll fatigue. And it's definitely something that's happening more and more. And I feel like it's a topic that we need to speak about a little bit more, rather just than seeing the standard one post that somebody makes about being tired of collecting. And then you have, people chiming in, and then the conversation goes flat. Just as like new collectors tend to enter the collecting space, I feel like this is something that they need to be aware of. And the only way to be aware of it is to talk about it and actually acknowledge it. So, yeah, let me know what you think about doll fatigue slash burnout in the comments. Like, how do you feel right now? How is your collection? Um, and yeah, let me know in the comments. And with that being said, I'm going to close out today's show. You guys don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Dollmar Show, and go out there and be kind, spread love, spread happiness, spread joy, because we are in a world that needs all of that and more. Now, until the next one, you guys be sweet, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.